Hi everyone and welcome back to the Torok channel with this Cort KX-507 MS. MS stands for multi-scale. That's a 70th anniversary Thomann edition, so in collaboration with Cort, of course. It's 745 euros, so it's 50 euros less expensive than the classic Cort KX-507, and you've got two different specific colors, this one and a gray one. I have picked this one up and I'm really satisfied with how it looks. The red is in real a bit darker than what you can see, but of course you've got a lot of light coming here, so it looks a bit brighter than it really is. But anyway, let's take a look at this guitar, and let's first remember why I have picked this one. I wanted to try and review the Fisman Fluence active pickups. So these are the modern active pickups from Fisman Fluence. I have never reviewed a guitar with those pickups, and this one is the most affordable you can find with these pickups, and it's by far more affordable than the others. At least on Thomann, I haven't seen another guitar with those pickups for some less than around 1,000 bucks. So really way cheaper than the others. The specs are good anyway, because you've got a mahogany body, a maple top, a maple neck with amaranth, you've got locking tuners, and of course you've got those Fisman Fluence with the split coil for the voicings, so voice 1, voice 2. Okay, how does it look? Well, I have myself taken a very close look at this guitar. I have seen absolutely no finish flow, no tool mark or this kind of things. So of course in this price range that's exactly what you do expect, but that's not always what you have, and this time this is what I have and I'm really satisfied with this. Let's take a look at the frets now. Well, okay, nothing sharp. How is the polish job? Sounds good. Sounds good, yeah. Okay, I have set this guitar in tune just to play it unplugged and let you hear how it really sounds. It doesn't sound bad, but maybe you hear it as well as I do. You hear that? You hear the return of the strings on the frets. So that means the action is way too low, at least for the kind of string gauge I have chosen. Yeah, really way too low. I'm gonna have to lift this thing up. The string gauge on this guitar is 10 to 59. I'm gonna change it for 10 to 62. It doesn't sound like a big change, but you've got 10, 13, 17, 26, 36, 46, 59. What I'm gonna do is pick a set of strings that comes with a basis of 10 to 52 with an added 62. They're sold by Earnable, and so you're gonna have much more thickness on the thicker string, by the way. So I'm gonna leave the edge now, but apart from that, well, as far as I am concerned, this guitar really looks cool. The maple table is really cool, looks nice. And yeah, for the price, I mean 745 euros, that's not that expensive as was picked today. I mean, the price has been kicked up those last years. And yeah, for the price with this Maxor ebony fretboard that really looks gorgeous, I think. You've got something really cool. And just before we go listen to how this guitar sounds, I would like to ask you to subscribe to this channel if it's not already done. Leave thumbs up, share on socials so more people come and visit the channel. I'd like to reach to 5,000 subs. I have just reached to 4,000, so thanks to all of you who have already subscribed, and please help me reach to 5,000. And if you order anything from my partner Thomann, this Cort KX-507 or anything else, please use my partner link that's gonna be in the video description down below. You have to know that when you click my link, you are on the German page of Thomann. So if you're like me, you don't speak German. You click on the German flag, you choose yours, you click save, and there you are. Now if you want to make 100% sure that you're already on my partner page and nowhere else, you can use the second link that's in the video description down below. It's gonna lead you to a list of highly recommended gear, recommended by me of course. There you will see my banner, my logo, and everything that identifies the channel, so you're sure you're making no mistake. Okay, so now comes the time to finally listen to how those Fisman Fluence Modern Pickups sound in this Cort KX-507. So let's plug it in and let's listen to it. Okay, so here we are back with this guitar that has been intonated. I have changed the strings as I said I would, so that's a 10 to 62 string gauge from Ernie-Ball. You've got to know that those Fisman Fluence Modern Pickups have 3 different voices. You've got the classic voices when everything is normal. You've got passive voice when you lift the volume pot. And you've got split voice when you lift the tone pot. So we're gonna listen to all those 3 voices, so it's gonna take a bit of time. I'm gonna manage making it, well, as pleasant as possible, but of course we're gonna start with the normal voice and with some high gain tone. I am on my PRS MT15. The signal is boosted with my Harley Benton Dr. G overdrive pedal. I am on the active voice. Let's see how it sounds. Well, it first sounds like those pickups have bite, and this guitar has sustain. That's pretty cool. Well, at some point this thing sounds familiar to me. I've got a feeling that those pickups have a lot of output, as you can hear. But the way they sound, the tone they have, furiously makes me think about some EMG 81, you know? I think some EMG 81 would have a bit less output, because contrary to what most people think, they're not that hot, but in terms of tone they're the same. It sounds a bit compressed, I think, but I mean, I like it. But yeah, it really does sound good and I like this tone. Let's move to the passive voice and see what we get. it sounds a bit different because you sense that it's trying to do something on the chucks. If I do compare with the active voice, it sounds a bit different, even though, well, the tone globally remains the same, but the way you sense it, there's less output for sure. It feels a bit darker to me as well. For some reason, it kind of makes me think of what you get when you split a passive pickup, that you sense more the tone of the string on the frets when you string a bit hard, you know. Okay, why not? I mean, it might be a tiny bit more dirty because of this noise you have that's not really natural, and because of the dark tone. Let's move to the split function and see what we get this time. Well, to be honest, I barely hear a difference. Well, as far as the high gain tones are concerned, I really don't see what this split function is bringing to the table. I mean, it basically sounds the same, maybe a tiny bit brighter, but I can barely hear it with my headphones on my ear, so I'm afraid you will not hear it at all on the YouTube video. Let's move to some clean tones now. Okay, and for the cleans, I am using my 2 notes audio clean. That's a preamp pedal with a valve inside. Let's see how it sounds. I am back on the active voice and I am on the neck pickup. Well, that's a classic active pickup tone. I mean, nothing special. Let's roll the tone off a tiny bit. Like many active pickups, it sounds way better if you roll the tone off by a half, as far as I'm concerned. Let's try the passive voice this time with the tone normal. For some reason there's less output on the passive than the active. That's the active. That's the passive, and you can clearly sense it even though I have played a bit harder. It's again, you sense that it sounds with less output and maybe a tiny bit darker, but I think if I roll the tone off and roll the volume off, I can get pretty much the same thing. But maybe I don't have this feel on the strings, and that's weird because this is for sure the passive voice, and it kind of sounds like you had splitted something in the pickup. And let's try the split function this time. Sorry. And the split function doesn't have these effects that you have on the strings when you play like this, you know. That's where it really makes me think of the split function. But when I use the split function, it's like the active voice with just less volume. Let's try and split the passive voice. Oh well, the volume is really loud this time. But yes, you can have both the split and passive in the same time. I mean, I think the passive is more interesting than the split. Really, you don't sense that anything is splitted, you just sense that the volume is lower, but apart from that, there's no change. Let's go back to the high gain tone for some leads. And so I am back on my PRS T15 on the lead channel, and this time I'm using my Mower Hustle drive to boost the signal. Let's see what we get. I didn't say it, but as you have heard, I am on the neck pickup and I am on the active voice. It sounds good. You've got what it takes to be a thrill mix. So let's see what the passive voice will bring, more or less, I don't know. Well, that's pretty much the same thing as we've heard already. A bit less volume, something that's barely a tiny bit more fat. Let's go to the split. Again, I barely hear a difference, except maybe there's less volume, but it's really not interesting. Let's double split things and see what we get this time. This time you've got something really different. Let's move to the bridge position and back to the active voice and see what kind of lead you can try and do, you know. Passive voice. Not that much different. Splitted. There's really no way you can hear a difference. Double split. This time you really sense you have less output. Nowhere close to a bluesy tone or something, but yeah, way less output, so maybe it does make sense splitting the two in the same time, but you know, the passive voice sounds a bit dirtier, I think. The so-called split mode doesn't bring anything. If you want a real split and really sense a difference of volumes, that's really important. You've got to split them both. But okay, I'm just going to go back to the rhythm part as far as this passive voice is concerned, because you know, a difference I have noticed between active and passive pickups is when you are on a passive pickups, you've got way more headroom than on active. So I just want to check if I can sense this difference of headroom, or if it's just well, artificial. I am on the active. Passive. Back to active. No difference of headroom, but I was pretty sure I would have no difference of headroom, because we're still on some active pickups, even though you're using the so-called passive voice. You've got something that's more dirty and a tiny bit darker, but I mean, we are nowhere close to some real passive pickups, and it's even clearer when you play on some clean tones. Okay, so I think we have pretty much heard everything those pickups can give. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about the guitar itself. Here we go. Okay, so let's finish about those pickups. Well, they sound good for sure. They sound very close in my mind to some EMG 8160 or 81707 set. But I am kind of disappointed, even though, well, it's something I did expect. The three voices, well, of course you hear the difference when you play clean, but the split mode, well, it's just less volume, there's no difference in the tone, and that's something you would not have with passive pickups and split function, and that even is something you don't have with the EMG 81TW, 89R, 576060W, because when you use the split functionality, you eventually have a different sound, a different pickup, so you hear more clearly the difference. Now, as far as the passive mode goes, well, you sense that there is something in the electronics that changes, and maybe it's closer to what a split function should be, but of course you don't have a passive pickups sound. So they're good pickups, but maybe Fisman has tried to go too high in selling the different voices of the pickups. They're very good active pickups, and there's nothing more to say. Okay, now let's talk about the guitar itself. Well, it's 3.5 kilograms. It's very comfortable to play, really. You've got, as you have seen, a very good access to the 24th fret. The shape of the neck is a U shape, so you've got something very flat on the back, so it's very nice if you want to shred, but it remains comfortable as far as I'm concerned when it comes to play chords or these kind of things. The neck is not that thick. I think it's got to be something like 20 to 22 or maybe 19 to 21, I don't know, but very comfortable anyway. But you know, really you have a U-shaped neck, so if that's not what you like, well, better know it. It's a U-shaped neck, and yeah, I mean, it's a neck made for shredders, for sure. Anyway, tuning stability was excellent all the time with this guitar, and even though I have not played it as much as I wish I had, I didn't have enough time, I must say, and as you realized, I have not made a demo about this guitar, but anyway, it's a very good guitar for sure. For the price, I mean, it is flawless out of the box. It comes with very interesting locking tuners, very good if not excellent tuning stability, very comfortable to play, and this color, I mean, I like it a lot. And if you want this color, remember this is a 70th anniversary edition, so it's a limited run in time. I'm not sure, you can still find it in 2025, so if you like the way it looks, the way it feels, well, I can grant you it feels really very good. Go for it now before it's too late, because limited run, so well, okay. All in all, and I have already mentioned it, it is by far the most affordable guitar you can find with Fisman Fluence pickups. So if you're into this Fisman Fluence pickups and you want 7 strings, or it does exist in 6 strings as well, I think it is really very good choice. And I don't think another brand with the same pickups will offer you something better. Of course, maybe you will have stainless steel frets if you go for an LTD 1000 series, but the price is going to be way more expensive, and I'm not sure it's worth it. This guitar is just very good. The pickups, well, by themselves they're good. Forget about the split mode. Don't put too much money on the so-called passive voice, because it's not really a passive voice, it's just a different mode, but a tiny bit darker, and maybe it sounds closer to what you would have on a single coil, but that's it. But all in all, if you like this kind of guitar, you will absolutely not be disappointed. This Cort, and it is the second time I'm reviewing a Cort guitar, is really very satisfying. So a lot of you have already asked me to go for a Cort KX-100, and I'm gonna try and find one, because this 500 series is really excellent. So you gotta wonder how the entry level of Cort is gonna be. But yeah, really very good guitar, very fun to play, and I'm happy that I've finally had the opportunity to review those Fisman pickups. Okay, so I think I've said it all. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for our next video.